Hey, family, welcome to Motivational Mondays with the Rumble Within in our Healing Together series. Now that we're together, we have reunited and it feels so good. And we have built the solid as a rock foundation. And now we've blended the children. And we're finally living under the same roof because we had a period of time where we were living away from each other. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. And now you start to see those things that kind of get on your nerves or the things that you're not understanding, then we start to argue or start to feel some type of way. And the honeymoon phase is fading away, right? This is when trauma starts to appear. And a lot of people have issue with that word, but if you've been through an experience where your emotions have been involved, bruised, hurt, however, yeah, we've all have dealt with some trauma, some more horrific than others. However, we've all dealt with them. Now, emotional intelligence, there's a book called Emotional Intelligence 2.0 by Travis Bradberry and Gene Graves. And it tells us that emotional intelligence is not something that is taught in class. Our senses transmit electrical signals, which have to travel from wherever you felt them, your see, smell, touch, hear, and all of that. They travel all the way up your spine to the base of your spine, or the top of your spine, excuse me. And we're at the spinal cord right at the top. Now, from there, it has to travel through the limbic system, which is where you produce and feel your emotions. Before you could even get to the logical spot or the place that you have reason, which is the frontal cortex, the front of your brain, you're right here at the limbic system. And this is where we all get stuck. Once we feel some type of way, some of us don't know how to come out of that. Some of us know how to come out of that. And the sweet spot is being aware that you're feeling something, whether it's sadness, whether it's happy, whether it's, I'm angry about something. And once you become aware of the emotion that you're feeling, you now have the control to react in the way that you feel that you need to, react. So we'll talk about this in this series or in this particular episode about trauma and how you're dealing with trauma and how it affects you, even when you think it's not affecting, and having grace with one another. Tamar told us that, only in love and war, when the smoke clears, we dry our tears only in love and war. But sit back and relax and understand that every day is a new beginning. Take a deep breath. Start again. Hey, hey, family, it's your girl, She Rambles. Welcome to the Rumble Within.
And I'm Coach O Speaks.
And this is Healing Together.
Yes.
In this episode, we are going to talk about when the trauma appears. You heard in the intro, everything is, we're together now. We've done the married thing. We've built our foundation. Children blended. Now, you start to see the nuances because we were living apart for almost a year.
Yes.
Prior to him moving my way. We were kind of struggling with which way we were going to go. Me being raised real Caribbean and Southern, uh, you go where your husband is. However, economically, and also being that we just reunited, of course, and it was the first year of marriage, I wasn't willing to, I guess, sacrifice our lives because we wanted to buy the house and things. And in Massachusetts, over there where he was at,
woo,
no.
Very costly. Like we said in the last episode on Monday, the blended family, we would need to have found a large enough house to accommodate our family and give enough living space. And when we were looking, I mean, we went back and forth, we tussled with this. And when we were looking for what the rents were to buy a house, it was astronomical, almost between $7 to $1 million for a house, and between what, 4,500 to $7,000 in rent.
Yeah.
And we could have done it.
Yeah.
We both could have done it. The jobs that we have, we easily could have done it. But then we would have been just doing this, crisscrossing each other. And we both decided that in this leg of our lives, we didn't want to just pass each other by. We wanted to do this or sit down and watch shows. We wanted to spend quality time. And if we wanted to get up and travel somewhere, we could. We didn't have to sit there and call each other on the phone or check our scheduling and be like, hey, do you have time available?
Yes. So we were prepared to do the long distance relationship or marriageship for 2 years.
Yes.
And it was harder than I thought, that I anticipated. Because I like my space. I'm cool. I like to roll around in my bed and stuff like that. That's why I'm a king. Stay on your corner, I stay on mine. And I say midpoint, not even midpoint. It was just like, once we got married, I was like, bruh, granted, he put his all to show me the importance of our relationship by traveling, because working for JetBlue, got them benefits, yes. And so he traveled every week to come and see me, and he would fix the schedule to make sure he was here for at least 3-4 days, and then he would go back and work like back to back 16 hours. It was crazy. And at some point I was like, all that flying up and down in the air, you can't be doing that, and da-da-da. But then when he didn't come, I was like, I miss you, come on. So it was a lot, and it started to take a toll on us, because that's when the back and forth started coming into play.
Yeah, it was. You don't realize how much you want to be around somebody or spend time with somebody until you're going away from them, and constantly traveling back and forth. It was the loneliness, being away for those 3 days, and then traveling, going up and down in the airplane. It was taking a toll, not only physically but mentally, because flying already is enough with the jet lag, as they say, and going up to those altitudes. So I was doing it. It got to the point where it was every week, and it got to the point where we both were like, "What are we doing?"
And it really showed that absence does make the heart grow fonder. You're like, because it's like you're there with the person in enough time for right when they're about to get on your nerves, they leaving, and then right when you about to lose your mind because they ain't here, they're coming back. So it was a lot of that, and then so we just started to have a lot of discussions while we were, at apart from each other. I believe at this point, predeceased wife was at 2 years. This was a 2 year mark.
It was a year and a half going on
two. A year and a half going on 2. So there was still a lot of unresolved grieving, because he never had a chance to grieve his mother's passing, his predeceased wife, my sister's passing, and for him, he felt like, in a way, he was disrespecting their relationship by us getting back together, and it seemed quickly, because people. But again, when we're grown, when we're this grown, when you know, and till death do us part. And at the same token, he didn't want to show his grief in front of me, and I was like, look, everything I do is spirit led. So I was like, spirit ain't gonna bring you this way. Because could you imagine it being someone else that didn't know her? I know my sister, and y'all been together forever. Why would I ever have a problem with you grieving your sister? I went to Massachusetts. I wanted to go to the grave. I couldn't even get out the car. I sat in the car and just bawled. And his baby was just like, wow, she really do know my mom. She like, who's crying like this? Because this our latest, she's our third youngest baby. She's like, she was amazed because she doesn't know me. She just met me, and to see me crying like that. And when I finally was able to get out of the car and walk up to her grave site, and I just was like, oh my God. Then when I went to the house, same deal. I couldn't. I just couldn't. And then so as we were going through the house, remember I said I was helping them to respectfully move some stuff and get things packed away and donated and things like that. and we found the marriage license, and I was a witness.
Yes.
And they were like, "Oh, so you have been here this whole time?" And I'm like, "Yes."
Yes.
But space and time put life just got to life, and it was what it was. But that we had the type of relationship that what's understood don't got to be explained. We didn't have to be all up in each other's face to know that I love you, you love me, we a big happy family. Okay, so yeah, the grieving part, it was not because I was upset that he needed to grieve. I was upset that he didn't. I felt like he didn't trust me enough to grieve in the space, and I don't know.
Yeah. It's not so much the trust, it was the, I guess, embarrassment, because I'm newly married, starting to understand, starting to learn, starting to develop our relationship, and then I'm still grieving my past marriage. And like she said, I lost my mother and my wife within 5 months of each other, and I didn't grieve. I'm still learning to grieve to this day. We watch shows or a movie, and something there just gets me. So I didn't get to grieve because of our daughters, but they were, one of our daughters was pregnant at the time, and I didn't know how I should grieve because I needed to make sure they were all right, and so I brought that over to here.
Yeah. And I think that was one thing. And then it was just in the household where he had to remain while we were living apart for that time. A lot of things happened in that house. A lot of trauma between the previous relationship. Just they were there for 9 years at that point, and it was a lot of stuff, and it just was weighing. And now you sometimes you don't feel something until you're out of it, and now that she was no longer present with us, now you're starting to see the things. You're walking around and you remember what happened in that corner and what happened in that corner. So that part was another thing. And also our daughters starting to really get hit with the realization that okay, you really married her. And
Yes.
y'all really on this phone talking like you about to move, and so that separation was another thing of him thinking or him believing that he could not leave them and come here. And of course people put in their own opinions in it, and it's okay because I mean that's what friends, family are going to do. Everybody's going to insert how they would handle the situation. But honestly, I've done it. Where I hear a situation, I'm like, yeah, that was in my past. But now I try to live in the truth of if I don't know nothing about what they talking about, I ain't finna say nothing, because that's why you never say never. We had to make a decision when it came to our daughter Dakota. She saw her mother deceased because the police did not do their job, and she slipped past them, and her mother was on the floor after they had tried to resuscitate and stuff. And this is the beginning of her high school career. Here comes a new woman. um I just lost my mom, and then we're going to say, okay, you're going to come move with us. We're going to go this way because I'm the dad, you're the child. Let's move this way. I was like, nah, we're not doing that. She is so intelligent. She got accepted to so many magnet schools. It was crazy. Like, she had like dollar bills worth of acceptance letters. And the legacy for her older sisters, they all went to the same school, the school where their mother worked as well. And their father was a coach. And so she was kind of scared to tell her father that she did not want to continue in that footstep. She wanted to do her own thing. And then when she finally said it to him, he was like, and he started talking to me first before he said it to her. He's like, oh no, she need to go where her sister was at. It's legacy. And I was like, no. And that was another kind of, it wasn't an argument. It was more of a rift, because I was like, no, you need to allow her to walk in her own path. Because again, she saw her mother that way. Making her go to a school for legacy purposes, where every corner she turns is going to be about her mother.
Yep.
Everybody that's looking at her, oh, your mom, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? That's not going to be good for her starting her career in high school. So I just like, you need to back up and just let her do it. And he kind of felt away because he was like, it's my ain't gonna daughter.
Yeah.
Know how we talk about the different ways of parenting, but again, I immediately fell into the role. I never asked any of them to call me mama, never that. But I understood what the assignment is. I understand my mission, and I needed her to be okay. And we decided that she was going to stay with her sisters. We had a conversation. They're grown, so they're still in the house, the apartment where they were living. And we were like, look, we need her to stay here. And if at any time something changes, because we don't want y'all to stifle y'all lives either.
Yes.
We don't want y'all to halt y'all lives, but we also want you to take care of your sister. We got the financial part, but we need her to be housed here so she can continue to go to the magnet school that she chose.
And it's been one of the best decisions that I ever listened to, understood, and let her be her. Because she basically grew up in Massachusetts. Okay, when we moved up there, she was 5 years old, so she didn't know nothing. She learned everything, and she went to school when like her best friend lives literally right around. I've been asking the landlord to put a gate between the fence so they can literally just walk through the fence to each other because that's her best friend's house right behind us. And being able to stay with her best friend and her friends and go since kindergarten all the way into high school, she's blossomed so amazingly. She's getting straight A's. She's in honors classes and she's lettering in 3 different sports. I mean, if I would have been like, oh, I'm the dad, you doing what I want to do. And listen, she just being polite on here. It was an argument. It wasn't a rift. It was an argument because I was being a dad girl. I am a dad girl. So when it comes to them, I was in like, no, she needs to be with me because I was already feeling a failure because her mama passed and then I'm trying to find my life and moving on. And then I'm talking about, no, you're coming with me. So yeah, but when I finally got out of myself, as people say, take this out from back here. When I did that and listened and really looked at what she was trying to show me, it was the best decision. I would never have changed it for anything else. And has there been people that don't understand it or have said what they felt like they needed to say? Yes. Because outside, they don't understand the dynamic. They don't understand what works for us. You raised one way, I'm raised one way, she's raised one way. What works for us works for us. What works for y'all works for y'all. And that's where people need to go. She's always telling me that. If people understand and stay in their area and not worry about Timmy and Charlie over there, we'd be much better off.
Is everybody worry about their own business? We be all right.
Yes.
Now, in the intro, you heard about this book, Emotional Intelligence 2.0, Travis, I can't read backwards, and Gene now, Greaves. So get this book. Oh my goodness, it's good. But we're going to quickly go into the 7 principles of making marriage work. This is our key book that we're talking about, Healing Together. And we are on pages 21 to 23. And we're going to talk about something. Building a foundation on friendship. Because remember, we have been friends since 2001. Space and time ain't never going to stop a real friendship. We saw each other a couple years after that. And then we saw each other at Walgreens and it was like nothing ever stopped. Hey man, oh my God, cornbread, because we called him cornbread. Oh my God, cornbread. And by then he had to grew his little hair out looking all sexy and zeddy. I was like, yes, okay.
I didn't have this
not
gray.
With the curly. It was black and curly, honey. And, ooh, yes. I was in a whole relationship then, child. But anyway, we both was like he was sexy. So so the book speaks about always starting when you build your foundation on friendship. You know each other's dislikes, likes, the hopes, the dreams, the personality quirks, and all of those things.
Yes.
And with that friendship, it's like you know how you are with your friends. You know how you're with your girlfriends, with your homeboys and stuff like that. And it's just some certain things you're not gonna do to them. And if you guys do get in a rift, you understand that y'all can get over it real quick because you understand where they might have been coming from, or you know who they are. You know, that's how she get when she drink that Remy. She just you know. And so, you know, this is the same type of deal when you're coming over here in a relationship. And we had a friendship first before anything, you know, and it always remained, even though we never really was in each other's space for a long period of time. But like I said, what's understood ain't got to be explained. So one question that was asked is, do you all have a deep friendship? Meaning a mutual respect for enjoyment of each other's company. Do you really want to be in that person's company? Now, just because the person getting on your nerves right now don't mean this is nothing that you can build to. It's nothing that is just gonna come overnight. For some, it's like this, and for some, it's something that you're building. Because in order to build a foundation, there's the word, build it. You got to build it. It's not there all automatically. As friends, no, I already read that. You express a fondness in little gestures, day in and day out. Also in big ways, because sometimes people think this the grand gestures. Oh, I bought her flowers and I took her to Vegas for her birthday. She should be cool for the rest of the year, you know. And it's like, okay, Drake. This is my favorite thing that Drake says. People make time for the things that they want. Are you making time for each other? We're busy. We're not working in the same place unless you guys work together. And even when you do work together, are you checking in? You know, y'all on the same bed. Hey, baby, your back hurting? Don't you go on and take a break or something? You know, if you're working in different places and you knew she had a big meeting today at her job, did you call to check on her and say, hey, how did that meeting go? You know, what's up? If he had an appointment and you didn't go with him or something like that, did you check in to see how the appointment go? Did y'all speak about that? You know, because little things like that we think don't mean nothing. Because my husband had made a whole situation the other day instead of just asking me to go to the doctor with him. And I was just like, bro, all you had to do was ask. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you want to give somebody their space. Because yes, you're my husband. That don't mean we got to be every waking breath with one another. Because two became the one when we got married. So whether I'm with you physically or not, I'm still with you. Show him the ring, Gina. Show him the ring. Anyway.
let me jump in for a second. And men, you also have to understand something. They don't know what we want and what we need. We have to explain things to them. I assume things way too much. Okay, I don't speak about it or say what I feel and need. So I look at it as, well, if I went with you to your appointment, it should be automatic. You come with me.
Transactional.
No, this ain't transactional. This is, you guys have to be, and I'm at fault. I'm gonna sit there and tell y'all I don't hold myself accountable and I assume things, and that's my problem. So yes, and the intentionality behind it is, she had a situation one night when I was at work, and she told me, please check on me, text me even if I'm asleep. I took it as, don't bother her, she's sleeping. And the next morning she was like, yo, you didn't check on me, I don't feel good about that. She let me know how she felt. And that's what this is about. We can't just sit there and assume we know each other, because you're not. Remember, we all started out as individuals. We all started out coming into a relationship, having our likes, having our dislikes. So we're not going to know each other. We're not mind readers. We don't have the cute, the games where it's telling you what to say and you're saying it. No, we have to be able to open, communicate, and I struggle with that.
Yes. What other ways do you show up for each other? This is a big one because some people is like, because another struggle that we have is him with having four girls at his wife, and it was five of them. You know what I'm saying? And when it was time to get around the town and find something to eat, everybody wanted something different. He hated to go to the various places. Yes. So it transfers over here. I'm a vegan. He's a meat eater. And when we're out, he's always like, oh, I'm good wherever you at. And I'm like, no, you're going to eat what you're going to eat, and I'm going to find something to eat. And if we're somewhere where I can't eat something, I can drink some water. I'm good. I will eat something. And I don't understand why I just can't eat or you're eating. And that was an argument of ours, for a couple of months. But when you're at home, say he's cooking breakfast for the children. Our children like chocolate chip or blueberry muffins, so you make that. But I don't like no blueberry muffins in mine. Plus, I'm a vegan. Are you going to go that extra mile for her and make her vegan stuff to the side? Or are you just going to be like, she going to eat what the hell I made and that's it? Are you going to make a medium well steak for him? Or are you just going to make well because everybody else eat well and that's just the easiest thing? It's the little things that you do that you think that somebody don't notice. And mind you, there are some of y'all out there that just don't see it, because it's not because you're necessarily an ass. It's just because you don't recognize it because it's never happened to you before. My husband does have a big issue with recognizing care and love because he doesn't feel like it was showed in a way that he understood in anything previous because of, the turmoil or whatever that they were going through. Or, after a while, you've been with somebody for a long while, those type of things kind of get pushed back to the back burner, and it's like we on survive mode. We ain't got time for all of that. So, although football is not your thing, sis, how are you going to engage? If it's just, hey, you can make a mean nacho, go on in there and make a mean nacho. And baby, listen, let me give you a secret. He's still listening. Girl, get in his closet and get that jersey and just put on the jersey. Nothing else. Go on, throw some heels on it. Baby, listen, that game will be over quick. Or when he's done, he'll be watching him eating them snacks like, okay, touchdown. I'm about to get in your field goal. You know what I'm saying? Just get yourself into it. I'm not saying go out there and learn everything. And if you're a sister that knows stuff, because my daughter-in-law, boy, she knows some sports. She can hang with the big ones, And her and my son just click on that thing. And so these acts instill lasting passion far greater than the lavish vacations and anniversary gifts of the couple that has fallen off course. Ship fuels the flames of romance because it offers protection against feeling adversarial towards your spouse. Like I said, you ain't gonna be too mad at that friend. Unless they done did some unthinkable broke the girl boy code type stuff, you gonna be cool with your friend the next day. But how come we can't give the same grace to the person next to us? That person next to you gets the brunt of your stuff. Your boss pissed you off, they gonna get it. Your boy pissed you off, she gonna get it. And we do that to each other all the time. There's a thing in the book called positive sentiment override. This is when the positive thoughts about one another and your marriage are so pervasive that it supersedes any negative feelings. So they brought an example of we're hosting a party. I'm hosting a party. I'm running around. I'm looking for stuff, and then I'm you know how we are with women. Everything got to be perfect. The people coming to my house, I don't need nobody trying to judge me, and I'm on everything. So he asked me where the napkins, and I'm like, they in the damn dresser. See, with the positive sentiment, he just heard me say they're in the drawer because he understands in them heart of hearts with the positivity that, all right, she's just frustrated. I'm just listening to the information, not the tonality, because it ain't personal to me. She's just frustrated in this moment. We'll get it where I asked her the question. She told me where it was at. It don't matter how she sounded. And it talked about having a set point. You think about when you're at the gym, you get to that plateau and your body's like, I'm good, because that's homeostasis. And until you change something, you do something different, then your body starts shedding that extra weight. You change the way you work out, you change the way you eat, you take something out, or you put something, do something different. And that's the same thing here. When you get in the relationship, if you set the set point up here, it's going to take a whole lot of negativity to make that thing come like this. So that's why you set it high and you keep that thing high. Versus you coming in a relationship and it's already set low, and you're going to always have a conflict. Everything's going to seem personal. Everything's going to seem like an attack because trauma's going to come in. Trauma's going to come in. There's so many people that do not think trauma is a thing. So now we're going to go into, honey, where do you feel that I fumbled in any aspect of what we discussed recently or in the past?
Oh man, I've been dreading this all day today.
Yes, he has.
I have been an anxious, overwhelmed person because this right here I'm not comfortable with doing. I'm not comfortable of opening up, talking, um, and I'll be quicker to sit there and say you didn't do anything because I know
And I won't accept it.
it's me. Um, so coming about where did she fumble or has she fumbled? Um, I would say that it's more of you already knowing what I'm going to say before I know how to say it and not giving me the chance to really express how to say it. And I know I got to work better with just saying things and opening up and just, I like to say throw up. I need to do it. But a lot of times you already have it already set up in your mind what I'm going to say without me even expressing it. So I get scared to express it.
And I receive that because I do that. We have the joke about his brain being the DOS and mine being the Apple. And I feel like the older you get, your patience level is just like this. And you be like, bruh, can I get the elementary version? I don't need that dang on coach because coaches love to
Over
and I'm like,
explain.
bruh, I'm not on the team.
Yeah.
Give me the information. So I do that. And I have to be more sensitive to it and kind of slow myself down to let him get what he has to get out and also understand that it plays into the trauma of him feeling like he's always been dismissed. People have always been like, man, shut up. We ain't worry about where you want to eat at, name. They just kind of throw him to the side. And that's in all relationship from baby until now. Specific relationship, but he's expressed that to me that he feels like people has always felt like what he had to say didn't matter. And with me doing that, that exasperates the trauma. If you remember what I said in my intro about when a trigger event is something that seems similar to an experience that you had, it don't necessarily have to be the same thing, but if it seems similar in your brain, it's like trigger. Oh, she doing the same thing, same thing, same thing. So I received that. Where I feel that you fumbled, my dear, is I express myself through music. And you know how I feel. Listen, people, I don't know if some of y'all out there like that. I go into the song and I swear to God, I'm on the notes with them. And especially if it's something that I probably could never say out of my mouth in the space that I'm in now because I'm working through my own trauma. We all healing together, right, y'all? Okay. And if I don't feel like I can say something to you and I'm playing a song and I'll do stupid stuff like I'll repeat a certain thing over and over. I keep rewinding it and it will go over his head. He will not get it. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm talking to you. And he just be sitting there like, huh? So I feel like, although I know you love me and adore me, the romance, the romance, it may be, it may be a fumble. The comprehension of how I express and just romance. But I guess because romance looks different to us, and that's another thing that you guys. That's why communication is important because we got to know what romance is. And for me, music is romance. It is the sun. It is the earth. It is everything. If I could drip anything on you, music is it. And you know,
And
I
I understand that because you have said to me, did you listen to that? Did you see what I sent you? And I haven't. I I can't explain why I haven't or what takes place, but I know I haven't done things when you told me to do it, and I do understand that I do fumble the ball with that. And I always thought romance was the grand gestures, the big extravagance, taking you out to big dinners, and with you don't like those things. You don't want to be around a lot of people. The intimate settings, which is the confinement of our home in our bedroom. And I always think that's just what we're supposed to do.
mm. See y'all. I want you all to practice that at home. Take if it's just one day out of the thing. where you think I fumbled that baby, or however you want to say it. I'm saying fumble because this is Coach O Speaks. And so now, after you do this, because this is an uncomfortable space, and it's in your uncomfortability is where you grow. So now we're gonna affirm each other. I affirm you, my love. Yesterday was Mother's Day. And when I say this man was running around this place, he felt bad because I was cooking. I was like, bro, I wasn't going to eat none of your food. You could have made some hot dogs. I wasn't going to eat that. I love to make him laugh. We bought a lot. My mother purchased us another bed. She bought me another bed because I still had a bed that was from a previous relationship. We believe in energy transfer and all that good stuff. And this bed is so lovely. We got the futon type of seat that sits in front of the bed, and I ordered two, and three of them came. So we gave one to our baby girl, and he put all of them together, put the bed together. Had some frustrating moments, of course, in between it, but he did that, and I affirmed that because I could never. All those pieces of ABC and 1, 2, 3, and 14, this and that, this screw, this jackhammer, that jack. No. Okay, I had to call somebody. Call Tyrone to come and do it. So I affirm you for that because, I wouldn't be able to do it. It would have still been sitting in the boxes out there.
Well, that's my affirmation. That you are always trying to show me things like that and trying to give me that confidence, that booster build that I need because I grew up not receiving those things. And I am grateful that you are always constantly trying to show me something that I need without it being a physical touch of some sort or something like that. You are trying to show me that, my actions speak louder than words.
Oh.
And wow, she don't do
that. Go figure out what y'all love language is. Go take that test. Yes. And take it every few months. Like at your first start at 6 months and stuff like that, because it does change. It really does change. Mine was, quality time. Mine kind of stays there at quality time, but it is moving into, other things. His is words of affirmation, because again, from his trauma, he never got the recognition that he needed. Now, our children need certain things, and as parents, sometimes you don't know that your certain children need everything. You feel like they all kids, sit down somewhere and leave me alone. But you have that child that needs to know that you are proud of them because they bowled that 300, no matter how long it took. Even though his sister did it before him, when he did it, they was like, "Yeah, about time." You could have celebrated that thing a little bit more. You could have made a big cut a cartwheel down the thing and slide down the bowling thing and make them laugh. Do something stupid. But we don't think about those things. And now here he is about to hit the hill next month. And yeah, she's something his parents didn't do is still affecting him. So trauma appears, and we'll continue to talk about trauma and how it really does affect. I'm gonna do a Jerry Springer moment, but I'm gonna call it I was gonna say mother name. She rambles moment. I always talk about everything is spiritual, no matter what you believe in, whether you're highly religious or whatever. It's still spirit, because in the religion it tells you that in everything you do, let the spirit lead you. Michael Jackson in the forest, don't stop till you get enough. Don't do it. Okay, so so leaving you with a spiritual note from the scripture, Ephesians. Remember that everything that you're fighting, on top of trauma, on top of disappointments, on top of everything that we've gone through, on top of life, on top of expecting stuff from people and they not coming through, people backstabbing you and all this stuff. Ephesians 6:12 tells you, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood. We ain't fighting each other. It feel like it, but we're not fighting each other. We are fighting the principalities, the powers, the rulers of darkness of this world against spiritual wickedness in high places. So on top of his trauma, on top of my trauma, on top of the trauma we bringing in from our own relationship, we got to fight some things that we can't even see. What kind of craziness? So give each other grace, okay? Take care of each other.
And accept the little victories. Don't look for the Super Bowls, the World Series. Don't look for those victories. Look at getting the first downs, the first basket, the first goal. Take those little victories, because once you start accepting those little victories, they add up.
And a lot of people think that this word trauma means that something is wrong with you, that you're broken, that you're not lovable, you're not worth anything, and that's a lie. We all experience things in our lives, and we have to come to terms with those things. We are now parents. Your parents were parents, okay? And now that you're a parent, can you feel them a little bit? Now
Yes.
there are some parents out there that just, they are who they are. But there's no manual to the children. All the children are different. All of them are different,
Yes.
and so you learn that over time. And now you can go, yeah, I was a latchkey kid. That was real traumatizing. You know what I'm saying? And be okay with it. The things that you've gone through, it's fine. It's not where you started. It's how you finish. But you got to do the work so you can control your own destiny, because you always have. And don't let your trauma keep no shackles on you. Free yourself. Free your mind, and the rest will follow. All right, this is your girl, She Rambos.
With Coach O Speaks.
And thank you for joining us for Healing Together. Please join us on Wednesday for the wrap up. We'll continue to talk about this right here. And Friday Frenzy. I don't know what we're going to talk about this Friday. Oh my God. Stay
Tune in
tuned.
to find out.
We love y'all. Peace.